So in order to ask this question, I just want to go back to your I want to go back to your original question, which was, how do you define Islamophobia? And to me, it's very much about othering. So, if I read a violent verse from the Old Testament, and I say, gosh, Christians follow that, everyone goes, no, because they know Christians and they know lots of them, and it's very easy for them to set aside, that idea that those two things belong together. And I think when you hear a certain thing, like a violent act overseas or a verse or whatever, it's very easy to go, oh, well, that could be true because I don't know these people, And it's a crazy idea, but it's because that thing or that person is other to us. They feel other. And that's why I wanted to thank this lady here for her comments before, because it is not your job to educate us, but I really appreciate everybody who answers the 50th stupid question about a hijab, because for a lot of people, it's the only way they're going to get to know Muslims and to realise that their ideas don't make sense. And I guess the question I want to ask is, I can try to be decent and respectful to people that I meet. I can call out behaviour when it's not like that. Beyond that, I'm at a bit of a loss. Like, what is it you would like me, as a non-Muslim, to do to help defeat Islamophobia? Like, what do you have, your top 3 suggestions or something? Because I find myself wondering what I could do.
I think the first one is something that Helen mentioned earlier, is just learn how to be a bystander and how to be an effective bystander. And that doesn't mean that if you see a physical assault taking place that you jump in and try to be a hero. But maybe you hear someone saying things about Islam that you know from your experiences are untrue. You might step in and say, hey, I actually learned somewhere that this is true, not that. Or if you see someone being abused on a bus or in a public space, once the altercation is over, you go and sit with the person who is being abused and you just talk to them. You don't have to sit there and recount what happened or even point out what happened, but maybe just walk up to them and be like, oh, that's a really nice bag you have, or oh, where are you heading today? Oh, I used to live out there. I really love, this place out there I used to go to all the time. Just be a nice human to them. And I think too often that's something we forget how to do in a highly individualized society, where we're inclusively falling into our headphones and our iPhones and our little tunnel vision lives, that we forget to interact with everyone around us. One of the sad things I notice about society is that we're more likely, and this is true of myself, we go to the self-checkout station at the grocery store instead of the traditional checkout line, and we're bypassing a human interaction. And oftentimes, my wife is really good about it. She's always encouraging us, no, let's go to the checker, not to the self-checkout. And we'll sit there and we'll have like a 3-minute conversation with this total stranger, and they'll tell us about their day, how they're doing, what their life is like. And now that person has just been totally humanized to me. They're not just the color of their skin, they're not just the thing they wear on their head, they're just this human being who's just trying to live peacefully and normally and try to have a normal life just like us. So I think human interactions, standing up for people, and showing people respect and dignity and love when they feel, or when they've been subjected to a situation where they feel really down and really isolated and really otherized.
Next question is coming from